Hello and welcome to News Across Nigeria. I am Olumide Macaulay on today's edition. The Borno State government commits to rebuilding areas recently damaged by local bandits. And Borno State governor convenes security meeting over violence, asks agencies to produce the killer. And rural development in Imo State. Thank you for joining us. We begin in the northeast in Borno State, where Governor Kashim Shettima has ordered the immediate rebuilding of Daluri and Mairi villages recently attacked by local hoodlums. Governor Shettima, who sought development partnership with the Islamic Development Bank in Saudi Arabia on rebuilding the towns affected by insurgency, is saddened by the recent attacks. He promised the people of that area that 100 million naira will be set aside in rebuilding their communities.
The Borno State government commenced the rebuilding of communities destroyed by insurgents. The plan is for the internally displaced persons taking refuge in Maiduguri to return to their homes so that makeshift camps will be officially closed by May. Now, Governor Kashim Shettima has met with the people of Daluri. He has set up a committee to oversee the rebuilding of the recently attacked villages where over 10,000 displaced persons have already emerged.
We also promise that we'll personally identify with them in their efforts to rebuild their battered community. Along that line, we announced a donation of 100 million naira for the immediate reconstruction of Daluri and Mairi communities.
A lawmaker in the state whose constituency was affected in the recent attack claims that both the military and Boko Haram have full control of 3 local government areas in the state.
We should not live under the illusion that the Boko Haram insurgents are decimated, are weakened. These are not reality. These are not true reflections of the reality. The reality is that most of the local government are partially occupied by the insurgents. Then 3 local governments are fully occupied by the insurgents.
But Governor Kashim Shettima believes recent attacks in villages around Maiduguri is a backlash of successful military operations on Boko Haram hideouts in the Sambisa forest. He insists that the outlawed Boko Haram terrorists have been hugely decimated within the last 7 months.
The military have recorded tremendous achievements in the past 6 months. We are now consolidating the emerging peace in the streets. So I think it's preposterous for anyone to say that the Boko Haram are on the ascendancy. Yes, we might have pockets of them trying to commit mischief, but in the fullness of time we shall overcome even these hiccups.
The military authorities are yet to substantiate or dispel the claims that Abadam, Mobar and Kalabalge local government areas of Borno State are still being controlled by the outlawed Boko Haram.
Now, for more on this situation in those communities, we're now being joined via telephone by our correspondent in Borno State, Blessing Tuno. Hello, Blessing. Just when does the government say this rebuilding process will begin?
Thank you. The governor has actually been away in the last couple of days. And he wasn't in town when all of those incidents happened. Just came in yesterday, so it was a decision that was taken in the last few days. And then as of yesterday, he announced that the deputy governor is going to be hearing the committee and some other persons. And so in the coming days, we expect to know members of the and when exactly in them. And I want to say we actually are not considering coming to see one of the missions. They say they will protect the name to keep out there in the this is actually a good thing, because the only school in the town is not affected. Some of them are actually sitting out there. But by the time the rebuilding takes off, they can still go back to their homes and the children will continue going to school.
Now, we apologize for the parts where you're inaudible for our viewers, but if I heard you correctly, you said the governor is going to constitute committees that will help to facilitate the breakdown of the money that has been promised to rebuild the affected areas.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
What I said was that the committees constituted by the government of Borno State will facilitate the distribution of the monies to the affected areas that have been affected by insurgency.
Well, from what the governor said, the role the committee is going to be playing has to do with reducing not only that there's a business that was attacked just on Saturday, May Mobile, just 5 kilometers away from us. So what the committee is going to be doing is to review the reaction of our person so that the people will not come to help living in town. And that the NEMA and other emergency workers are on ground, giving food items and other kind of assistance to the displaced persons.
Firstly, our hearts go out to those affected by this recent resurgence of violence, the families affected, people who've lost loved ones. But I'd like to know that since a rebuilding process was already taking place, how much of a setback has this most recent violence caused? Apologize. We seem to have lost Blessing Tuno speaking to us from Borno State. She was giving us an update on the current situation there. The government has pledged 100 million naira to help build the damaged areas in Dailori and Meri communities affected by the most recent attack there. And what we did get or garner from what she was trying to say, for which we apologize for the audio where we couldn't hear her, was that committees are being put in place and working with all the parastatals to assess the level of damage and where the monies will be going to rebuild those particular areas. You're watching news across Nigeria. Coming up, the Borno State government has asked that the man responsible for the violence on Sunday in Buruku and another area be arrested. Please stay with us.